Hey everyone, welcome to my Weebly website. Here we will take a look at my integrated technology project for EDU 620. I am a 4th grade math teacher who teaches students with disabilities in a resource setting. Therefore, many of my students are below grade level readers. So, I decided to add the Google add-on called SpeakIt to their computers in order for the students to listen and understand the steps required for this project. To show you how that works, I'm going to highlight the word or words that they may not understand. Come up here and click on the megaphone icon.
Equivalent fractions.
And as you can see, it reads it clearly to them. I think this will be beneficial for this project and later on. So last week we took a look at basic vocabulary and how to interpret fraction models. So we will take it a step further and learn how to make equivalent fractions. So we will go through this technology project. Here is this week's focus standard. And in order to access my lesson plan, click on the lesson plan icon. Open. I planned to fulfill my 90-minute block each day. And here's a detailed description of my lesson plan. I will also give the students a paper copy of this checklist. This checklist lays out the expectations and the task for each day. The students will have the opportunity to check off to make sure that they have completed each step. I also have a half sheet that is an exit slip that will be used for day 2 when the students access the PowerPoint presentation that is interactive. In this PowerPoint, the students will solve for the missing numerator in the last 5 slides. I embedded an additional way to access all of the links the students will use throughout the 3 days. They are color-coded. Day 1 is in green, day 2 is in red, and day 3 is in purple. I also added my links that I will use, and they are colored in orange. So on day 1, the students will learn how to create equivalent fractions. Each day there is a learning objective, and the students should at least score 75% accuracy as collected from each exit slip. Before we begin the individual process for the students will review a Pear Deck presentation with me and their class. The students will open up and they will answer this first question. I will wait for everyone to log on, and then we will start class. As you can see, there are 7 slides. The students will share their prior knowledge. We will read a News ELA article that shows the importance of how fractions relate to everyday life. Then we will discuss the article, and the students will share by typing on their screen what they have learned. Next, all of my students love the vocabulary videos, so I decided to add one to this presentation. After the vocabulary, the students will summarize what they just learned, at least typing 1 sentence. We will review all of the answers together. And lastly, the students will draw or type 2 things they have learned from the presentation. So step 1 for the students. First, they will need a pair of headphones, and they will review the instructional video that opens into a YouTube link. After reviewing the video recorded by me, the students will explore on a Quizlet. There are 3 activities they can choose from, which include flashcards, match, and a gravity video game. And lastly, to assess their learning, the students will answer 5 questions on a formative exit slip, and they will need this access code in order to answer those questions. You can see those 5 questions are here. They are simply just making an equivalent fraction with 5/10. They may show their work. And then we move on to day 2. Day 2 is a little more difficult as the students will solve 4 equivalent fractions. There are 2 YouTube videos in which the students will review. The first one will deal in how fractions relate to the real world, as the second video will have Miss Ingalls instruct how to create equivalent fraction pairs. Then after reviewing those 2 videos, Miss Ingalls would have encouraged the students to write down any notes or fill in a thinking map to any ideas or new learnings they have discovered. They will share at least 2 new learnings they have in a Flipgrid video. In order to access that, we click on it and they tap to record in order to record 2 things they have learned. After the Flipgrid task, they may move on to the PowerPoint presentation. It is very important to make sure that it is in presentation mode, as well as the students can have access audio through clicking on the speaker icon on each slide. The students again will need that half-sheet exit slip that you saw on my lesson plan in order to show any work or write their answers down from the prompted questions in the PowerPoint presentation. And lastly, for day 2, the students will play a Kahoot game, and the pin is right here. Day 3, solving for equivalent fractions again. The students will follow a YouTube video link recorded by myself, which I will again show students how to use the tool we use, Magic 1, in order to solve equivalent fraction pairs. And there is a real-world word problem in the video that will describe how to solve for equivalent fractions. After reviewing that YouTube video, the students may choose 2 of the 4 equivalent fraction sites and play or review them with a partner. Those sites are here. They include Learning Farm, ABC App, IXL.com, and Mr. Nussbaum's site. The students will be required to play the games at least 8 to 10 minutes each. When they have finished with each game, they are to record their highest score on their sheet or their checklist to make sure and show their teacher that they have completed each step. And step number 3, before leaving class, the students will independently complete a Quizlet to demonstrate their understandings of equivalent fractions. For every day, the students will have a remediation plan set in place if they do not achieve at least 75% accuracy on the exit slip assessments. If they do not, then they will review the instructional videos again. After reviewing the videos for a second time, the students will complete an additional exit slip in order for the teacher to collect and compare the data. After retesting, if the student continues to struggle with this, then the student will be provided one-on-one instruction with a para or myself.